I'm going to teach you using that email as well, not just the article. So email, okay? Email is going to be a good one tomorrow. You understand that?
Yeah.
Very good. So today the talks is, now I want to call Zerji here. Zerji, please come on up, Zerji. Zerji, you're going to explain them what you learned today.
The three types of letters: formal, semi-formal, and informal. And the formal one is to send to company, manager, official. And the semi-formal is to landlord, neighbor, teacher. And the informal is to friend, family member. And
Okay, now Rachel is going to come up on the stage and she's going to tell what's the rule to write formal letter.
what's the rule?
Yes.
Formal letter. The first one is be regards, like dear sir or madam. And the third one is do not use contraction in formal email. And the third one is write about 150 words, and 2 paragraphs is enough, are enough.
Good. It's not ordinary. You must have that. Don't write everything at once. Divide it. Skip 2 lines. Okay. Skip 2 lines. All right. Katrina is going to come up now. She's going to speak about what we learned today. Katrina. Loudly. Rachel, you know, I like the way you speak. Hello. Say that. Wow. Say it.
Wow!
Very good. Say it right from here. Okay. Masa has a great way. You learn very fast, Masa. I think you're going to own like a company like Alibaba, like Jack Ma. I think you're going to be the superstar.
Oh, thank you.
I think you will be the owner of the university in China. You can come to America actually. So I think I mean, you can learn. You know, you can just open one yoga training center here in Nepal. So and bring a lot of Chinese.
Your investment.
Yeah, I'll invest. And I think you what are you say, economics? You can travel the world and just talk about economics, how the economy is growing and why Chinese economy is really bigger and why other countries are losing. So things like that. And this is he can advise them to invest in company, and you can tease them. Yeah, tell us.
Today we're learning about the writing. The first one is formal nature. It's for a company, manager, official. And second one is semi-formal for a teacher, neighbor, accounting. And third one is informal. It's for friends or family members. And for formal nature, you need to always write 115 words in 2 paragraphs.
All right, Masa is going to come now and she's going to explain what you learned today. Okay, Masa, please. When you do it, you remember what you just learned, all right? So let's do more with Masa.
Today we just learned writing task 1, and it's including 3 sentences. It's for formal letter, which is facing company, manager, and official. And the second is a semi-formal letter, which is facing with teacher, landlord, and the neighbor. And the second is informal letter, which facing to friends and family members. And here we need to note that 150 words for the task 1, and at least 2 paragraphs. And at the beginning, we can write dear sir or dear madam, and at the finishing, at the end, we can write best regards and yours faithfully.
Tina, the last candidate for today, is going to talk about everything we just learned today.
Sure. Today we learned 3 kinds of writing tasks. First one, formal letters to company, manager, official. Second one, semi-formal, is to teacher, landlord, neighborhoods. Third one is informal, friends, family, or members. So always write 150 words and 2 paragraphs. And only informal you can write concentrate Formal later, you can start with dear sir or madam and finish with yours faithfully and be regards.
Great. That's wonderful. Look at yourself now.
Wow.
And tell yourself, look at yourself now. You work very hard. Wow, you look really hard, you know.
Official.
And I want to take you in one thing, all right? So you want to take a picture or what? Who's that? Looks like I don't see Tina there. What is Tina? Oh, he sees there. Okay. Rachel. I don't see Rachel. Okay, great. Rachel. I'll tell you one thing, very important. All right, so I want to show you something before I do it, okay? Someone's name was Annie. His last name was Wan. W-A-N, Wan. Yeah. And then somebody gives a call and they say like this. If you have a phone, pick your phone up. Hi. I'm calling you to. I want to speak with anyone. You can speak with me if you want to speak with anyone. Say that. You can speak with me. I want to speak with anyone.
Anyone.
Okay, so we don't want to see that though, but we want to do something like this. Didn't come though. Let's just do this Chinese. I have a Chinese friend. Actually, Chinese. Oh wait, Chinese. He works for Google. He's one of the software engineer for Google. But he's an American citizen now. He went on a student visa. So I've seen his speeches, like he learned English. He didn't even get it. He was a poor kid long time ago. He didn't get a school to learn. All he could do is to listen to BBC. BBC was allowed in China a long time ago. So, okay, good. So they only closed BBC only later. In the beginning, a long time ago, BBC radio, BBC TV, not even a TV, but it was radio. So they could listen to that. And this guy was the safer. He used to go to jungle and looking after his sheep, and he used to listen to that BBC, and he used to buy some those music cassettes, and he used to listen to that. And any tourists, any foreigners in China, whenever he sees, he used to go and talk with them in English. Sometimes he used to just only go and bother them, but he try to speak, and that way he learned English, and that he learned English in English way. And then he became a teacher. Harvard University in America, they rejected 10 times. And he just said, like, I'll come someday as a professor, not as a student. He just determined himself in his heart, and he now actually goes as a professor, and he's all around the world. And this guy, I mean, like, he gives a lot of energy, a lot of inspiration. And the reason why I was trying to show him to you is because being Chinese doesn't mean like they will always like sound like a Chinese people when they speak English. No, you know, they can also listen like English people. But there are also people in other country, they're from China, and they still sound like Chinese when they speak English. Even the journalist, you know, I know some journalists. Even last time this just happened in America. One guy from India, very successful, very famous journalist in India, was actually in the meeting when the President of America and also the Prime Minister of India was in the meeting. And he was actually trying to ask some questions to the President of America. He didn't understand that. So, and he has to use the translator to translate his English to the President Donald Trump. So, because you know he sounds like Indian English, it's not understand. You know, like people cannot understand it. So that way, when you sound something like some, you know, like because of native, that's not your fault though. So you don't have to feel bad about it. No one's gonna have to feel bad about that, right? Because that's who we are. So, and we still don't need to sound like, okay, Chinese or Nepali or Indian if you truly want to build that up, you know, like Jack Ma did it, like Robert Kiyosaki. These guys, you know, like they completely, they didn't even go to school in the beginning. So they just, you know, they try to speak with some foreigners, okay, a little bit, and they really master that. And they sound very clear, very good. And if you're still confused about how to pronounce this commercial and official, what Jack Ma, this guy, Alibaba, go to his speech and try to see how he pronounced, and that you can follow, okay? Okay. Very good. So, you have any questions for me today?
So the paper now we have is a mess. Do we get to the formal?
You don't need anything today. So I just wanted to give, there's one question, formal. There's one question, formal later. Masa, please say that with the group. Okay, there's one question for formal. Write that later today, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay?
Tomorrow is off day.
Oh yeah, on Sunday. I'll see you on Sunday. Enjoy your Saturday.
So
Yeah.
we need to finish the task about the
Formal.
formal letter.
Yeah.
Question 1.
And watch Jack Ma. Okay, his videos, some of his video, how he does pronunciation. He's a big. I don't know how. He's really a very like a role model for. Only one, formal. Oh, only one, first one, yeah.
The first one.
Yes. Okay, is sese a Chinese word or Japanese? Sese.
Chinese.
Oh,
Arigato is Japanese.
aligan. Oh, I was sese. Saimas. What is saimas?
Sorry.
So भोलिको के छ प्लानहरु? भोलि के गर्ने प्लान छ? What language I spoke? Do you know that? What language?
Japanese, English.
भोलि के गर्ने प्लान छ भनेको? What language am I speaking? Okay. That's Nepali language.